Good afternoon and welcome to Twerton Park for this National League South clash between Bath City and Eastbourne Borough. City now begin a sequence of 3 matches against top 8 sides. Today it's second placed Eastbourne, to be followed by Worthing and Weston-super-Mare. I don't think anybody in the City camp ever thought these 3 were going to be easy. Yet that vital win over Salisbury maintains the gap between City and the 4 relegation places, and with none of the bottom sides yet to make a decisive break for freedom, they maybe just need to hold their nerve when not every result goes their way. After all, just over a point a game has been managed to date. Continue that and safety will be guaranteed. Eastbourne, of course, well, they've got other fish to fry. Backed by wealthy businessman Simon Leslie, they're full-time with a large squad and the luxury of overnight stays to compensate for those lengthy journeys. They're part of the new National South Elite, although with clearly stated Football League ambitions, this could be the last visit the Borough makes to Twerton Park. We have no pretensions to grandeur at Bath City Radio, as myself and Chris Chappell will be offering you plain, unadored broadcasting as City take on Eastbourne Borough. Chris, good afternoon.
Thank you, Andrew. Players just lining up, ready to kick off. City to kick up, and we're underway. City kicking up the hill in the thick black and white stripes. So, ball comes back from Ash to Rains on the right, gets a cross in towards the near post. Slightly awkward one to be dealt with by Ollie Kensdale. And now Ash gets hold of it inside the area, right-hand side. Pulls it back, Beardmore, lays it off. And the shot from Russ is blocked and away from the box by Eastbourne Borough. Combination of right and a defender. Crowther was there. The defender just in the way of the goalkeeper, got the blocking. Got a conveniently placed pillar. So picked up left-hand side by Bamber. He gets a cross, a deep one towards the right-hand side. It's come off the head of Adigan and Wiles Richards for a brief moment. It was in a squabble for the ball. Perhaps this is the Torquay United sort of take your time method. And it's straight into the gloves of Wiles Richards as well. And his kick is poor as it goes through the middle, bobbling. Oh, and Ash blocks Joe Wright's clearance, but Wright scampers back inside his area to dive on the ball. High Eastbourne Borough defensive line, well outside the area. Clark slips as he plays it in. Header out by the bandaged Barry. Kensdale clears. Beardmore falls over as he tries to jump high, and now Parcell thinks about a shot from a long way out and slices it into the terracing, the Bristol end of the ground. But a shot on goal, Andrew.
Yep, well, I think it was.
Yeah. And the ball breaks for Joe Rains to clear. From Alexander, lay off to Courtney Clark, right hand side of the box. 2 Rains in front of him, and he goes for goal, and Wiles Richards spills it over his head and manages to keep it out on the line.
Well, that was a shot with some power, and it was to Wiles Richards' right-hand side. Didn't gather it cleanly and then juggled the ball slightly across his goal, and at the very last minute before he was about to cross the line, managed to just push it away. And I think that almost constitutes a moment of excitement.
Bamber gets through on the left side of the box, and a last-ditch challenge from Tomlinson just holds him up, and he tries a shot. Back to Wiles Richards at the other end. And there it is, finally. It was the end of the half. He's played a bit early as well, with the score 0-0. And it's been a proper 0-0 to get around to delivering, and here he comes. The bodies in the near post, and Wiles Richards struggles as it just goes over the head of Diarra, who's blocking his view, and it dropped to his feet and was hooked away, thankfully, by one of the Romans defenders, and that's a blatant trip by Beardmore. It was class, the substitute, and we're going to see a yellow card come out of Stephen Swan's back pocket, and there is equal class. A bit like Jordan Silson, he's picked up several yellows, almost at the 2-match ban stage. That's his 9th yellow, according to Mark. And now Ash keeps the ball near the corner flag. Parcell's crossed. brilliantly controlled by Wilson, and he almost pokes it into the bottom corner, but it goes to the wrong side of the upright. He did ever so well to bring that ball under control. Spin.
Really well. He was falling backwards, wasn't he? Just as he hit it, didn't manage to get any power to it, managed to get placement. But apart from that Russ shot in the first half, that's the closest City have come to breaking the deadlock.
53rd minute of the game. Nice control with the toe, turned and poked it goalwards. And Joe Wright was at full stretch. Didn't know that it was going to creep into the post. I know we're coming together. The assist.
I think it's 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧 who's just taken the assistant out on the far side.
Brad Ash having to just check his bandage there. There was a three-man heap. Now 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗧 back to keeper Wright. Controls it, and then again his clearance is blocked by Ash. And this time the ball goes up into the air. Thankfully for Eastbourne Borough, it didn't go near the goal line with Bamboo. Does a lot of tracking back forward to Alexander, who stays upfield. And he's well challenged on the edge of the box by Tomlinson, and then just petulantly grabs his legs. He tries to get past. They're going to get a corner.
I think that's Eastbourne's first corner of the game.
Bird with his left foot, so swinging in from the right. It's along the ground, and that's gone out of play, surely no. 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛 tries to control it, and then there's shouts for a block with the hand after Bamba's effort. Cannon back. Out on the left-hand side with Courtney Clark now. Getting around Beardmore, two number 27s, and Wiles Richards saves with his feet at the near post. Away by Reigns. Romans survive melee. A lot of pink shirts still forward for Eastbourne Borough. The Sports putting the pressure on. Wilson toe pokes it out to the left where Ewan Clark controls the ball. Runs it Innocence. Goes on the outside. Has to turn back. Ewan Clark back to Russ. Left corner of the box. Right-footed cross towards Ash. It's over his head. He was saying that he was being held down there, being grabbed from behind in the shirt.
Well, one of our predictions has come true, because it is Alex Fisher that's coming on, but it's actually Scott Wilson who's going off.
Just sit left, right to Beardmore now. Ewan Clark chips it in, looking for Parcell. Away by 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏 again, he's using his height. Ash, just inside the box on the right, makes room for a cross, and it's blocked to the near post, and Joe Wright needed two attempts to gather it, with Tomlinson trying to smack it past him.
Yeah, not dissimilar from Wiles Richards in the first half there, not collecting the ball cleanly and having to grab it at the second attempt. Well, this time it was Wright doing that, under pressure from Ash. And
City making a change. It's going to be Jordan Alves for the last quarter of an hour or so. And as you predicted, Andrew, Ewan Clark. Oh, he's out on the right, body checked. The play goes on. It's played up the left-hand side. Alexander gets under control with Tomlinson in front of him. Alexander drops the shoulder. Tomlinson reads it. And gets the tackle in. Class. Knocked in towards Shamalo, and the header comes in. It's just off target at the far post. That's the substitutes, they say. He's in former Crawley man.
Yeah, City left a little bit exposed there at the back, 2-on-1. 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏 did really well there, played the ball into space.
Reigns carries it forward. Ash is out on the right-hand side. Tries to go through the middle of two defenders. Takes a tumble on the edge of the box. Ball runs through to Joe Wright. And Afawose, great control, footwork. Gets away from two City players and then knocks it straight into the legs of Russ. Gets it back from Ash though, as it ricocheted towards him. Falls down under light pressure from Brad Ash. Free kick, quite a good position. And a yellow card as well.
I think that maybe Ash said something, but he's been bumped, banged and buffeted all afternoon. And you feel he was just saying, referee, come on.
And a change for City, with Elliot Freer on to replace the lively Mitch Beardmore. Polishes the ball once more on the left-hand side. Long throw, it's over 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗦's head, just get a flick on it, it's up into the air. Diarra's behind, City tussling, no foul. There's some shouts from the Borough supporters. Now Russ is furthest man forward, lays it off. Freer on the left, got two men to the right, plays it across, in behind the defence. Alves, first time, and he hits it in at the near post. The right saves, but an effort on target on the break. And for a moment there, it looked like City could snatch victory there.
Yeah, good move by City there. And you wondered for a moment, Freer there, was he going to run all the way down the length of the pitch to the byline? But he saw Alves breaking on that far side, put a great ball across to him. And Alves firing first time, easily taken by Wright. As the clock runs down here at Twerton Park. Darren Way in conversation on his bench.
And that's it. A game which was bereft of excitement and many chances. It was predictably 0-0. A good point for Bath City. They had chances in the first half. Phillips had a shot that was blocked. 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗦's header. 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏 had a long-range shot and a slice wide. And then Jordan Alves perhaps had the best chance with a shot on target in the second half after he came off the bench. Good break, which was Elliot Freer who carved open the chance, curling across from the left. And probably Courtney Clark with his cross shot that Harvey Wells-Richards spilled over his head in the low sun and almost let it trickle over his line before scrambling it away. But apart from that, it was a tale of several long throws.
I think it's fair to say it's a game that will only live short in the memory. And the sooner forgotten, the better. You do wonder what Adam Murray's advice was to his players, because in the first half it was like they were at the bottom of the league and desperate to get a draw out of this game because they had virtually no forward momentum at all. The substitutions in the second period did do better for them. They did press forward, and the City defence, you just felt in that last 10 minutes beginning to tire a little bit. It's been a physical buffeting for both forwards and defence. They're a very physical side, Eastbourne, with lots of very large players. But you get the feeling that Darren Way is going to be the happier of the two managers. City know they only have to average a point a game. They've looked at these three matches of Eastbourne, Worthing and Weston, three sides in the top 8, which we've got a point from this first one, is a great start to that little trio, you feel. Well, thank you for being with us this afternoon. Thank you for being so patient and in what I can only describe as a game that lacked excitement. But from City's point of view, it's another point gained, another step away from those relegation zones. So I'm sure Darren Way will be pleased with that. We will move on to Worthing on Tuesday night. But once again, thank you very much for being with us today.